Let's talk about the phenomenon of retrocausality. Is it even possible to go back in time? No, I don't believe it's possible for us to travel back in time or in general to go back in time. No, I would say no, except for the undetermined particles that are then determined later on in time. I think for those particles to be undetermined in their past is a contradiction, because the past consists of things which have been determined, which are completed, and they're done with. And to have an undetermined particle, let's look at the entangled pair, A and B. When they're created, they're undetermined. Both are undetermined, but we know that the spin, for example, of one is the opposite of the other. So when we measure the spin of particle A, we know now that the spin of particle B is going to be the opposite. Now, how would retrocausality apply there? Well, when we measure the spin of particle A, then it goes back to its past history, and it all becomes spin up from its initiation. And so the other particle is spin down, particle B, from its initiation. Now, we haven't changed the past in a sense, except we've improved the past. We've taken that something that was indeterminate in the past and now made it determinate, as it should be. So I think retrocausality is a good way to explain. In fact, I think it is the way to explain the quantum entanglement. They are entangled when they're created, but they're undetermined until sometime in the future when we make our measurements. And when we make our measurements and it's determined as far as its characteristics are concerned, then the complete path of particle A throughout its history is determined, and that then reacts on particle B. The particle B is then determined from its history, so that it is everything at that point then becomes fully determined. Particle A and particle B are fully determined from their initiation. It's interesting because there's a concept of retrocausality. There's a concept of hidden variables in a sense, because they're down particle A and B are the opposite spin from their generation. Of course they were, but it wasn't determined what their spin was. Now it's determined. Once we make the measurement, it's determined that the spin on particle A, it can be up, and the one on particle B, down. And the whole past that was indeterminate to begin with now is determined.